questions. Pound yen?
So I'm looking about 10%.
How about euro USD?
Oh, you trying to short it? So you trying to short the pound yen?
Yeah, short pound yen.
Well, that's a pretty strong push up.
No, pound yen, not euro yen.
That's interesting structure. Draw this up. Put my horizontal line right here. What I'm drawing out is where it came back up and it never broke it back above previous high here for this previous, but for past, what was this? 2 weeks ago's price? I think it was. You see it, Kevin, when I'm outlining? Oh, you guys are muting? Oh, you guys didn't interact with me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, so pound JPY came back to its previous high, and I noticed that it never broke back above it. This is on the 1 hour.
Yeah.
On the 4 hour, notice that these two wicks, these two pin bars match a line here. This wick and this wick. Overall, it still wants to push up. It's weird because the dollar is down, but UJ is going up with the JPY pairs. Let's see here. Yeah, EJ is gonna test higher. Yeah, Euro JPY looks like it's gonna test higher. Might come test the highest price. If it does come test the highest price, then you have to be careful where Euro is headed. Euro might shoot higher. Euro might come test all this before coming back. There's a lot of resistance here. Where's the pound going? No, the pound hasn't really gone up either. Now it's high as Euro.
I can't hear nothing right now.
You can't? You can't hear me?
I can hear you, but Just people out here talking. I can't hear it.
Oh man, sounds like you need.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of background noise, man.
So I'm just gonna mute myself.
Is there a particular pair you guys need me to look at?
USJPY.
USJPY?
Yeah, you just said you was holding it for a long buy.
Right. So the reason why I'm buying it is because it's broken this lower resistance. I already had these two set out last week already.
Right.
It's way above here. I'm looking for it to come test 112, this price.
Okay.
So once it comes test this price, then I'm looking for 113 again. I did want to sell it. I did want to keep selling, but it's not dropping anymore.
Okay.
If you, like I said, if you don't use the horizontal lines, like how I'm doing it, and let's just say you were using a trend line, all right? You're drawing this trend line. I mean, obviously you would draw it down here first. If you notice that if you draw this trend line, it's already broken this trend line.
Yeah.
And even if you did it here, it's already broken the trend line as well.
Oh, okay.
So it would so if you like trend lines, you can. I'm not using trend lines. I was just looking for the price to break up and keep going.
Okay.
So, oh shoot, what is that? What did I just had? I had somewhere.
Yeah, I was gonna short it today. I mean tomorrow morning I was gonna set up, short it. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and I mean, based it on the daily structure, if you were to draw a trend line, I mean, it's this daily candle is already above the trend line. So I don't use trend lines, but if you were to use it,
yeah,
I mean, you can see that this daily candle bowled up, really engulfing everything else over here.
the only thing I use is the RSI and the stock chalice oscillator. I can't say it right. And support and resistance. Yeah, support and resistance. That's it.
Okay, so I'll put this out here, stochastic, and I'll put the RSI.
On lower time frames, I use the SO. I'm gonna just say SO.
What time frames?
In the book it says the 15-minute, 5-minute, and a minute when you're scalping.
Right.
And the RSI for the higher time frames.
Okay, so you have to understand that. Let's see. I don't know which. Are you talking about the first book that I read now, or the second book?
I think I have the second.
Okay, so when I revised the book, I specifically put in that negative forex chapter, and I don't use indicators anymore. So
yeah, I know.
Yeah, so if you were to use, so your 15-minute time frame, is this the 15-minute chart that you actually look at the most?
Yes.
Okay, so
like when I'm practicing scalping, because I still can't scalp right. I suck at it. I'm more of a swing person.
Oh, so you still want to scalp? Okay.
Yeah. I'm doing mostly daily swings. They call it intra trading, I guess.
Yeah.
Like intra, yeah. I'm mostly do that right now, but I'm trying to make a quick turnaround. with a scalp just to test my limit, you know, just to test myself a little bit.
Okay. For scalping off the 15-minute chart, and if you are, I don't know what time, I don't know what indicators you're following the most. Because I know, are you following more on the main window where the candlesticks are going, or are you following stochastic and RSI?
Still stochastic and RSI.
So you follow your bottom indicators more?
Yeah, mostly to a certain degree. When if I'm scalping, yeah.
Yeah, because on the MetaTrader they have it together.
Yeah.
On your phone. So this gets a little too confusing. So especially when you're using on TradingView, because I don't like looking at this on TradingView.
Yeah, I don't look like TradingView like that.
It's like whoops. I don't know why they did that. Get this off. So if you are following your indicators on the bottom of you can see stochastic. Your main line on the stochastic has crossed here on your signal line, which indicates a sell.
Right.
Okay. Your RSI still wants to push up. It gets confusing because then by looking at
they're conflicting.
You can see that RSI wants to push up because you can see that this candle still wants to go up.
Right.
And then stochastic still trying to push down before it makes its decision to come back up again. So,
right.
So you get caught up on looking at RSI, stochastic, and this new candle. So this new candle doesn't close until 12 minutes. So in 12 minutes, you gotta look at it and say, okay, if I'm looking at this at the 15-minute chart, and we have 12 minutes left, where is this candle gonna close? If you're using it, you gotta count down. A lot of people just look at the 15-minute chart or the 1 hour, or the 4 hour, and they don't know when the new candle is gonna close. You gotta know when the candles are gonna close. If you don't know the time, I mean, TradingView already has it right here. That's why TradingView is very important.
Okay.
So you got less than 12 minutes. This candle looks like it wants to go down, and looks like it's gonna bear down right now. Or it can just sit and consolidate right here in this gap.
Okay.
By looking at the previous candle structure, it hasn't decided to go higher or it hasn't decided to go down lower.
Right.
Based on my opening gap here, the gap was going up. So I'm looking for an uptrend for the whole week. Based on an open gap, your gap is very important if you want to find the direction for the whole week.
Okay.
There are times that the gap reverses. Like, let's just say New York starts tomorrow, and then all of a sudden, USD JPY ends up going all the way back down like 110 or 109. It could very well do that, but most of the time, if you follow the gap, if this is an opening gap or going up high, then I'm looking for it to buy long term for the whole week. And it's very conflicting because the dollar opened going down. Okay, the gap here, right? You can see the gap here. It's not much of a gap, but the gap was going down.
Right.
Okay. So let's see.
But look at the RSI now when you're on. Wait, what? That's 15 minutes.
What's up?
Oh, no, never mind. Wrong thing.
Huh?
No, never mind. I just seen something. Yeah. I caught it.
Okay, so I'm just trying to show you all the open gaps here. For those that do look at opening gaps. Gold went up, but you can see a lot of resistance here right now, so it's going to come back down. It's on the 15-minute chart. I talk a lot about the 15-minute chart right now in past month because you get to see more precise entries and exits. And also, if you go naked Forex, you don't have to wait for this. RSI was like above 90 here. This is on Friday. So There are times that RSI can go above 70 and go below 30. You have to be prepared when things are overbought and oversold. You just can keep shooting. It's gonna just keep going. You have to understand the trend's gonna keep going. So that's why I don't like using RSI or stochastic. Let's see here. New Zealand's gap was down. I'm trying to shoot back up, and now you can see it's trying to shoot back. It's going back down again. Australia's gap. There isn't really a gap. Euro. I don't really see Euro's gap. It's very important to find if you really are looking for a gap. I mean, you can see the gap going down here. Not much, but you can see that opened down right here, shot up, and now it's coming back down. EJ, I don't see a gap. QP, JPY, going down. UJ is going down. CAD open going down. USD Swiss franc going open going up. Oh yeah, USD Turkey, where's that one going? Going down. Gap is down. So you have a mixed correlation of different pairs for tonight. That's why I'm not hopping on every single pair tonight. You can, but it just gets a little confusing, especially for tonight. There's not a whole lot of correlation going on for every single pair.
Me personally, I only deal with the London and New York session. That's that's the most volatile. Seems like that's the most volatile for me.
Yeah, it is. Oh, guys. Well, I'll go back to UJ because you're talking about UJ. So we're looking at this. So if you look at your bottom indicators, I'm pretty sure what I'm guessing is that you're following your stochastic more.
Yeah.
Than the RSI. So that's just what I'm guessing. So if you're following your stochastic more, then you would sell here, and then you would wait till this comes down below 20. I don't ever buy on 20, and I don't ever sell on 80.
Oh.
If you keep following 80 and 20, you're just following the basic reference point. You have to remember that on any time frame, or even the shorter time frames, that they can shoot above 80 to 100, and they can shoot all the way down to 0.
Okay.
So let me draw this out here. So by looking at this, let me zoom out here. The best time to buy is here. You can see that right here. And then if you sell, there was no selling. It still kept going up, even though stochastic was going down.
Yeah.
So if you choose to sell and you're not following the trend, then you're second guessing where the next price is to sell.
Pretty much.
So do you need indicators to scalp? No. It just gives you a good confirmation of what's overbought and oversold, but that doesn't mean that remember, doesn't mean that if it's oversold and overbought, doesn't mean that it's the perfect time to buy and sell.
Okay.
Okay, it's just a math calculation with whatever the indicator they adjusted into the settings to where they're just letting you know what's overbought and oversold. That doesn't mean it's 100% accurate. That's why I completely just took off every single indicator. If you were to take everything off and you just follow the candlestick structure, the best time to sell was here at this price, 111.5, and you can see that it's never came back to test higher.
Okay.
And you can see that it's coming back down lower now. And what I would do, I know that this is the highest price. What I'm looking for it to test to break is this support price. If it breaks this because they match together, then my next price to look for is down here, 110.8, 110.75. This right here. Breaks that, I am looking for the next price structure at the very lowest, which would be 109.8 at the lowest price from last week.
Right.
And that's it. When you draw your horizontal lines, you have a price gap to scalp off of. So if you're selling it and you keep selling it and it bounces off of here, then it's gonna shoot back up to come test where it fell, which was right before 111.35. Breaks this. There's no other level of support until we do come all the way down here at 110.8. So then, so if you like using your horizontal lines, then you can just move it down once it breaks past that, and then you just move this down here.
Nice.
So now you have another price gap to look for. And then once it keeps breaking structure, if it's breaking down on support, then you just move down to the next support price by using your two horizontal lines. By using the trend line, you don't know what your support and resistance is. So trend lines can vary because in each time frame, it could be a buy or a sell. So oh,
I think I just forgot how to use trend lines properly. Oh man, this is a learning experience. Ooh.
Right, because like I said, if I get into scalping right now, and I'm looking at UJ right now, yes, I would sell it.
Yeah.
And if it does actually break here, then it's gonna come test lower. If it doesn't break here, then it's gonna bounce off of this price. Because I'm looking at previous price, shot up back here, and then this really went back up here. So
oh, okay.
So if that's the previous price that it's been going up on, then it could very well bounce back up. And you have to understand that this is just Tokyo session. So when London kicks in, London might end up changing the direction again. So if they send UJ down for Tokyo, London could switch it up, and London could send UJ all the way back up higher, all the way back up again. So just because it's going down for this session doesn't mean it's going to go down for the next session.
Right.
You have to understand that. I mean, for the past couple of weeks now, London session's been switching up the trend a lot. And then when we get into New York, there's so much retracements during New York sessions. So you can see right now, this new 15-minute candle just started. Right, we're at 14 minutes and 52 seconds. You can see that it's not coming down to test this. Well, the next candle is to look to see if you're gonna buy it. Because you're not using RSI and you're not using stochastic. So with me using the 15-minute chart, almost every other candle is a support candle or a resistance candle. If we look at every previous candle, this was a bear candle, a bullish candle, a bear candle, a bullish candle, a bear candle, bullish candle, and a little bit, all these little green candles, and then a bear candle, bullish candle. So if you want to scalp, you can scalp every candle if you wanted to and wait till the 15 minutes is over.
Okay.
What I'd be considering looking at right now would be a bullish would be a breakout. Reason being because I want to see if it's gonna break out going down, testing the break, testing the break all this. If not, then to be a bullish breakout going back. Because as of right now, it could very well just sit around at this price structure. Let me make it more simple. Right here. Narrow it down. Okay. So by narrowing it down, we know that the opening gap, and we're just looking at the highest price of tonight. Highest price was this, and the lowest price of the closing here by Friday. And then once come down, breaks lower, then move your resistance candle going down, move this support line going back down. That means this is going down. Euro JPY is going down. That means every JPY pair is going down. AUD, yep, AUD is going down. AUD JPY is going down. NZD JPY is going down. CAD JPY is going down right now. Yeah, and Chef JPY is starting to go down right now. So even though dollar is going down, it's not because of that means here, let me see. That's why if you get kind of confused and you get stuck, the bar chart. I don't really use bar chart because it just changes every like 5 seconds.
I don't use bar chart.
Go to your market overview. Now you can see that Australia is the one that gained the most, and USD CAD is the one that dropped the most. Australia and New Zealand is okay. So here. Notice that US dollar is pretty weak at the very right, and Australia is the strongest currency tonight. So US is the weakest, Australia is the strongest tonight.
Okay.
And then you can see that JPY is the second weakest. So your Australian and New Zealand dollars are pretty strong tonight. But this gets conflicting if you look at the smaller time frame. We're looking at the smaller time frame, what I'm showing you before on TradingView, that on the 15-minute chart, every single JPY pair is going down. Notice that that USD JPY is green, right? Chef JPY is green, GBP JPY is green, CAD JPY is green right here, Euro JPY, New Zealand JPY, and Australia JPY. They're all green. So it gets conflicting when you're looking at the 15-minute chart because it's going down, and then you're looking at this, and then you're like, well, what I do now? It's green here. So that's why I don't like using bar chart. I'm giving you guys a tip to understand. If you use a currency heat map, you have to constantly look at the currency heat map all the time. It gets confusing. That's why I don't really talk about a currency heat map. You can, if you want to really dive down what's the strongest currency tonight and what's the weakest currency for that session, that's fine. But if you're looking at all this and you hop in on a smaller time frame and you start and see like what we're seeing right now, all the JPY pairs are retracing down, could be just a retracement. It's not like a full-on reversal. If it's a reversal, I'm getting out. I'm not wasting my time buying UJ. But from what I saw last week for UJ, that has never broken anything lower than UJ's never come back to test lower. And it's never come back down to 109.8. And it shot right all the way back up to 111. That's a pretty strong uptrend. So regardless of if it's retracing down tonight, I don't care about the retracement. What I'm looking for is to see, is it gonna test higher again? If it doesn't test higher, and it just comes back up here again at the 111.5 price, then I'm just gonna sell it. And that means I know that the 111 that at 111.5, that means that that's a really strong resistance price. So you have to understand if you go 15-minute chart and you're not looking at a longer term and a longer trend and a higher time frame, you're going to get yourself caught up on scalping. Because I'm repeating the same thing. So when I'm scalping, whether it's a minute chart or it could be the 5-minute chart, or it could be, I don't really look at the 1-minute chart anymore, but when I was scalping off the 1-minute chart, I would look for a direction. Right now we see a downtrend going down in 1 minute. And if I see this downtrend, then I'm like, okay, then I'm gonna hop to the 15-minute chart. And the chart is not really, it's not a trend anyways. A trend would mean where it start at the very bottom and go all the way on top. If you look at the 1-minute chart, on the very last price, I mean the very lowest price, and all the way back up to 111.5, you can see how strong the trend was on the 1-minute chart. Now you won't be able to squeeze back out that far of a time frame on TradingView. But if you zoom back out and you look at this, okay, this is the trend. Now we know there's resistance here, tracing down. The question is it going to come to test low? If it's not going to, it's going to bounce off the same support price and shoot up higher. You have to be very careful. So you have to be very careful on your certain time frames that you really want to follow. If you're not for sure, then you should look at the higher time frames before you make that decision on the lower time frame. Because your end goal is to look for a long-term setup. Unless you really want to scalp each session, you can, but not every session is really good for scalping anyways. Like here, I wouldn't be wasting my time scalping UJ anyways. You can see that it's just by pricing out this price gap on the 15-minute chart, it hasn't come to test low and hasn't come back to the previous Sunday's price. But it's just sitting around here. It might just sit here until London comes in, until it finds more market volatility or more volume. What else? Anything else? What's up? What's up? What the heck is Kenneth doing? Is anybody scalping with Kenneth?
Nope, not me.
Yeah, he sure took a hit on that small count. The heck is he doing?
Ay, santísimo.
Yeah, he trying to buy NZDJPY? Is he? The heck is this guy? Bought it at the very top. That's still not enough. That's definitely not enough to keep going. Let's see. Just looking at the US dollar index. We got for this important week here. Oh, that's it. The only thing I would be looking for is that what I see here? QDP. What else? Well, there's nothing for Monday. That's interesting. Well, there is something for political events on Monday. I would be watching Donald Trump speaking tomorrow. I know that. Well, you guys asked me questions. I mean, you guys don't have to be quiet. That's fine. I'm just reading up on some stuff here. Notice how I was talking about 111.5. They're also talking about 111.5 here. See, a strong stag resistance comes around 111.4 and 111.5.
This trading economics or FX trade? Oh, FX.
FX Street News. They are very similar to my technical analysis, but from the economic side, I don't read up on that. I don't follow what they say for economics. I don't waste my time following their opinions on fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
But on their technical analysis, they're pretty precise on it, pretty accurate. So I was talking about 111.5, they were talking about the same thing. And then what I outlined for that 111.5 is that for you, Jay, I mean, well, not on daily, but I mean on you can see on the 15-minute chart that this was the highest price, and then it shot down. And by looking at the 1 hour, I mean, there was this and all of this right here. And so we'll see if it decides to break above here. But like I said, based on the longer time frame, it hasn't come back to test this low price, and it did a major uptrend back up here, 109.8, all the way back to 111.5. That's a huge uptrend.
When it hit that 109, right, was that around the time they had that flooding over there or something like that? They had like a flood not too long ago in Japan.
Was it because of that? Well, dang it. I'm trying to remember what caused it to go back up.
So it was like back in July or something like that.
Well, I mean, this is just August. I mean, this is just last week.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can see here, August. This is August 20th and August 22nd.
Oh, okay.
27th is today.
But this is the weekly chart, right?
No, it's a 1 hour.
1 hour. Oh.
So this is the 1 hour chart. So I'm just zooming back out to just look at the structure. Because you can see that when it came back here to 111.4, it shot all the way down. It might do the same thing.
Okay. I got a question real quick. Say it all right, so right now we're looking at the 111 144 right there as a support, right? Would you buy around that area? I mean, would you anticipate a buy around that area?
Well, what price?
For a reverse. 111 144, right where you have the support at. Right where you have this. Yeah. Would you buy around that area and look for a reversal going back up?
For me, I wouldn't be. I mean, I'm still going long on UJ since last week.
Okay.
So if I was, like I said, if I was still selling euro, I lost a lot of money. You can see how much it went back up. So you can see that euro bounced off from 113 all the way back to 160. That's a 3-cent gain. Gained 3 cents. Now, if you don't notice, there was a lot of traveling in the past couple of days for Europe, all the way to Europe. There's a lot of traveling. So so basically, if you look at the international airports, if you look at the international airports and their foreign exchange rates, you can see euro was climbing up a lot in value. A lot of people were flying to euro in the past couple of days, or pretty much the past week. So yes, the news was there. There was the ECB hat was involved too, but I mean everything else was due to the actual people actually traveling to Europe. Like a group of my friends are in Europe right now, and so they're amazed to see how much the price shot up in the value of currency. Let's see here. For me, like I said, for to buy here, for UJ, if you're gonna buy UJ at the support price, I mean, I'm not using indicators. So if this candle actually does come down and shoot down, we have 39 minutes left of this 1 hour. And if it actually comes down and shoots lower, by looking at the 15 minute, the 15 minutes already closed. The moment this 15-minute candle closes outside of this support structure, there's really no point buying it for tonight. And if it breaks even lower, than that, then there is no point buying it long term. And I would end up taking my loss instead. Because I'm looking for, like I said, everything that I look for is always a daily trend to follow and a weekly trend to follow. Your daily trend creates the weekly trend. I'm not looking to scalp. Like I said, when I'm showing you guys a 15-minute chart, I'm not saying that I'm going to buy right now. I'm not going to sell right now. I'm just looking to see if this little small structure on the 15-minute chart breaks through, and it's going to create that trend eventually on the 1 hour, the 4 hour, daily, weekly, and monthly. So your 15-minute chart is pretty accurate when it breaks a certain price structure going up or down. And I know Naked Forex doesn't talk about the 15-minute chart, but by utilizing the 15-minute chart and just put these horizontal lines from the highest price of the day and even the lowest price of the last week, and that's why I have it set right now, lowest price for that Friday, and then the highest price for today or Sunday, or the opening gap, and then now it's just sitting between here. I'm just looking for a breakout. That's all I'm looking for. And I probably won't see this breakout until London. So, like I said, yeah, I'm always looking for a long-term setup. I'm not looking for wasting my time trying to scalp on the 15-minute chart. Because once I see the breakout on the 15-minute chart, I'll just hop straight to the 4 hour. I won't be wasting my time looking at the 1 hour anymore. Because then that means I'm looking for this 4 hour candle. We have 3 hours and 30 minutes, 3 hours and 37 minutes left for this 4 hour candle to close. So by midnight, it could just very well close. It could like close like this little doji candle here. If not, I expect this to be a bull candle passing higher. And you can see UJ's trying to push back up again.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to sell it, you can. But to me, I don't see a long-term sell. So when you're asking me if I'm going to sell it, most of the time,
No, buy. I meant buy around the support.
Yeah. Like, well, when a lot of people ask me questions like, do you sell or buy? Most of them are asking like, what are we doing it right now? And you know, you can do it right now. If you do it right now, then you're willing. Like say, it's already what 2 hours and 23 minutes into Tokyo, and so. Well, I mean, this is the time to find the direction, because I always talk about the second hour of the session is to find the direction. The first hour is always retracements. The second hour, you need to find direction because that direction is going to kick in, and then you can hold that trade until the new session kicks in, and then you close and take profit, and then wait for that first hour of London to kick in because it's going to be a bunch of retracements. And after the first hour of London, then you get to see a direction again. And then, like I said, by the time New York kicks in, then you'll find your daily trend. Because by that time, your 4 hour and your 1 hour is already created enough structure for the daily candle. So we're on the 4 hour here for UJ. So these are, every six 4 hour candles. Let's talk about these past candles here. Then let's go to the daily. Let's go to the daily, right? So the daily, those 4 hour candles started this big wick. So if you follow your 4-hour candles, because you get 6 times 4 is 24 hours. So you get 6 4-hour candles in a day. So that builds your daily candle structure. So by building your daily candle structure, now you're looking for the weekly candle structure. And if we were to look at the weekly candle, let's look at the 5 days from Friday and back to Monday. It's something to you guys to look for a long-term one. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here? But you can see that if this was the Monday's candle, and you can see this candle is up. So we're looking to see if the weekly candle was green, which it is. It's a bull candle. This for last week. So now you know that it's a bull candle. By looking at this weekly candle, the new weekly candle, now we're looking for determining where the monthly candle is going to close, right? So let's look at, we're in the last week of the month, right? So let's look at the past 3 weeks of this month, right? So we got this one as a bull candle. This one's like they shot all the way down.
Dragonfly?
Yeah, I forget what kind of doji candle we call it, but they shot all the way down. This was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, right? So by looking at this, then you're going to draw, okay, where is this new weekly candle going to go before September 1st hits? More than likely, I'm looking for a breakout back up to 112.5 and then see if it'll come test 114. Because it hasn't decided to come back lower. If this previous weekly candle shot lower and broke and closed below 110, I'm looking for it to come back to test 108, 10, yeah, and then there's no other support, so all the way back down to 104. So now you guys get a little good how do I want to say I don't know what to say. This is just my way of looking at candlestick structure and count it based on the daily, weekly, 4-hour. Your 4-hour candles will create daily candle structure to close, and then your daily candles will create that weekly candle because you get the Sunday. Well, I don't count Sundays, but you get the Monday all the way to Friday. So that's 5 daily candles, and that will create your weekly candle, and then you'll get to see where it's gonna go and close out by Friday. And then your weekly candle, you put 4 weekly candles in a month. So so now we're in the last week. We gotta look at where this last week candle is gonna go. Based on this, if this is the bull candle, and it came back to test higher, then I would expect it to test even higher. So it's just one simple way of candles and look at the previous candles so you know your structure instead of looking at RSI and stochastic. So every candle gives you a clue. I know Kenneth talks about it, but then now he's back to the unit indicators. So you're gonna find a method behind naked forex if you want to do what I'm doing. If not, then, and if you go back and use RSI, stochastic, MACD, or Bollinger Bands, or the 2 moving averages, whatever, you have to understand what's gonna work for you long term. And if it's not gonna work for you, you gotta find something quick because you're just gonna keep losing more money and not knowing the patterns, the trends, and not knowing what to read anymore. Because you're trying to read the chart, you have to understand where the chart's going.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to go naked forex like me right away. I don't expect anyone to go naked forex like me. But if you want to, then start deleting your indicators one by one. You'll figure out that, oh, okay, I see where Ku's going with his candlestick structure, where his trend's going. Now the trend's going this way. But I have to remember that London's opening up in 6 hours, so I got to be prepared for that retreat. So if I say it's a reversal, I'm switching everything. If I say it's a retracement, it's just a retracement. I'm not worried about the retracement. If it's a reversal, I'm not wasting my time. Let's just say the dollar here is a strong sell for the rest of the for the upcoming month. If it becomes a strong sell for the rest of the month, especially for September, I mean, I'm looking for it to come break the 93.5, 92.5 in order to support until we come back down to 89. If this is the reversal. If it's not a reversal and it's just a retracement, then this new weekly candle is going to end up blowing back up higher. And like I said, I stated two things what I was going to sell a dollar long term. Economic recession or the trade wars is over. Those are the only two things I was going to sell a dollar. Other than that, the dollar is going to be a strong buy until Trump gives up on the economy, which I highly doubt that. So he's not going to end the power of the United States anytime soon, because he's got a very important speech tomorrow. So I end up sending the dollar back up even higher. But I mean, yeah, I look at a lot of pairs. I mean, you can see my watch list. I have all the major cryptos. I mean, from USD Turkey all the way up to US30. I mean, I'm looking at a lot of things here. Then hop into trading economics, and then what's am I looking at? Yeah, Real FX Street News, investing.com. Sometimes I look at Forex Factory here. All the latest and all news and latest stories. This is pretty important. It talks about political events, and it talks about economic events. And this thing updates. You can see this update 10 minutes ago. The People Bank of China set the yuan reference rate at $6.85. So I don't know what the actual rate was at before. And then you can see here the coming year-long U.S. trade war with China. So that's already let me know that this trade war is not ending anytime soon. So there's a lot of stuff to understand where fundamentals come into play with technical analysis, and then you break down the time frames, and then from the time frames, you better know, you gotta know that which trend you're gonna follow for each pair. And your basic principle is to always follow and to always remind yourself is that if the dollar is going down, then you sell the dollar. You would buy gold, you would buy Australia, you buy New Zealand, you buy the pound, you buy euro. And then if the dollar is going up, then you sell them, and then you buy USD JPY, USD CAD, USD Swiss franc, all the US dollar pairs. Based on trading economics, you can see that euro to New Zealand is all green, and then that UJ and all the way down to all these US dollar pairs are red. I mean, this is 0% gain, so it's not a whole lot, but things are starting to switch up, and so you have to be very careful where things are going to go. And I know I'm looking at UJ here, but let's go back to UJ. So let's go back to UJ and put the 15-minute check. So by looking at this, you can see this price gap. You can see the next 15-minute candle is trying to shoot back up, back to its highest price for Sunday for the gap. So if you were scalping, the best time to take profit was here at 111.18. Because to me, like I said, every other candle on the 15-minute chart is either a bear candle as a going down for resistance to bring down resistance, and then the next candle will probably be a bull candle as a support candle going back up after the bear candle. And like I said, if you look at every other candle is almost pretty accurate to where like one is a bear candle, and then the next candle is a bull candle, and then the next candle is a bear candle, and the next candle is a bull candle. And then if you see a major breakout, then you have to be prepared for that new trend. So, man, I talk a lot today. Who else wants to talk? Anybody else? Anybody? Hey, he's still buying AJ. What else? Anything?